Throughout most of the year, the communication that comes from the Youth for Christ office is about our Campus Life program, that wonderful program that enables us to be where students are to engage 11 to 19-year-olds with the hope of Christ through relational ministry. But that probably begs the question, what happens when the school year comes to a close and Campus Life is paused for the summer? Well, I assure you that just because the school year comes to an end doesn't mean that ministry does. In fact, our leaders engage with young people throughout the summer in various ways, but the thing that we get most excited about, one of the biggest things we look forward to each and every year are our YFC camps. We have a middle school and a high school summer camp running this July, and we can't wait to see what God does through those camps. You see, YFC camp isn't something different. It isn't something adjacent to Campus Life. In fact, it's the continuation of our Campus Life ministry. Students come to our various campuses and engage with our leaders week after week on and off campus throughout the school year. And then those same students are invited to come and participate in our middle school and high school summer camps, along with the leaders that have invested in them and have established relationships with them. Think about it. So many seeds planted for the gospel throughout the year. So many conversations, so many biblical wrap-ups at the end of Campus Life, so many one-on-one appointments, so many opportunities for building time, so many times that students gathered at the YFC office and in other places for small groups. All the questions that they've raised, all the questions that they've gotten answered, and now they have an opportunity to unplug, walk away from their normal rhythms and normal distractions, and be at camp with their leaders, with those seeds that have been planted, while they get to encounter the Lord in powerful ways, where they get to hear the gospel clearly articulated, as well as to hear the stories of so many people, leaders and students alike, whose lives have been transformed by Jesus through what he did on the cross and through his resurrection from the dead. What's great is that our Campus Life philosophy that we employ all throughout the year is also employed at camp. And so students have the opportunity not just for what we would consider the equivalent of club time as they gather together each and every day, but also small group time in their cabins, and one-on-one appointments with their leaders are conducted throughout camp in the same way that they would be throughout the school year. YFC camp is very different from your traditional church camp or other Christian camps you might be aware of, because our primary target audience, the same as it is for Campus Life, is the non-Christian student. It's while, yes, we have Christians and non-Christians participating in camp, we strive to have a high percentage of non-Christian students attend camp, both for middle school and for high school, because we want them to have the opportunity to respond to the gospel. As I mentioned, the students that are coming are students that are already engaged in various ways through our Campus Life program, and so we've already been investing in them. But the beautiful thing about YFC Camp is it's not just what ends the Campus Life year, it's what kicks off the next Campus Life year. Because as God engages with these students, as the needle is moved, regardless of where they are with Jesus when they start camp, wherever they are when they end camp, those conversations, that journey continues along with their leaders in Campus Life in the next school year. And friends, I'm not just telling you about summer camp because I want you to know what Youth for Christ is doing. I want to tell you about summer camp to invite you to be a part of what God is doing and is going to do through camp this summer with Youth for Christ. And there are several key ways that you could get involved. First, I need you to be praying. Pray that every student who can come will come. Pray that obstacles are removed, and there are plenty of them. Students that can't afford to go. Parents that don't respond to our leaders and get the required documents in for us to have their permission. Students who are afraid of getting out of their comfort zones, being away from their friends and their electronics, and students who have never been away from home, never mind away at camp, and have fears about it. All of these things and more tend to be obstacles that keep kids from experiencing camp. And so would you pray that those obstacles would be removed and that more and more students would have an opportunity to be a part of camp this year? The second thing I want to ask you for is to give. And I know that this video is going out to people who already support us in so many different ways. But as I mentioned before, probably the largest obstacle to students coming to camp is finances. You know, again, we work with students that don't have a lot of money. And because of that, parents don't want to send their kids to camp or can't send their kids to camp. Camp is expensive. It costs $400 per student. And that's not even taking into consideration all the other costs like transportation and paying for our leaders to go and Project Serve and all the training that goes into camp and all the other things that are costs associated with camp. Just for students to be able to participate, it is $400 per student. And each year we anticipate that our scholarship need is going to be $12,000. $6,000 for middle school, $6,000 for high school. And for the last couple of years, our scholarship need has actually been a little bit higher than that. And thankfully, because of generous donors who have stood in the gap and donated to help kids go to camp, we've had the ability every year so far to be able to send every student that wanted to go to camp. And we don't want this year to be the exception. And so would you prayerfully consider giving and giving generously toward a scholarship so that a middle school student or a high school student might be able to go and participate in camp this year? What a blessing that would be to that student. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your partnership.